Hello, my name is Lindsay, and we're going to be talking about our TR and VASC bands today. So for your TR band, whenever you get a patient back from cath lab, you might want to make sure that you inspect the site with the person who is returning the patient to see if there's any hematomas already forming and to know exactly what it looks like when you got them back. You're also going to want to know how much air is in the balloon to ensure that you've removed all of the air before the end of the procedure. And you are also going to want to make sure that the patient keeps their arm above the level of their heart, flat, and they should have an arm board to keep their wrists still as well. You're going to want to check vital signs every 15 minutes along with assessing pulses, sensation, color, and cap refill above and below the insertion site. If you have a procedure that there was no intervention, it was really just diagnostic, you're going to wait 30 minutes after to remove your first 2 mils of air. If you had an intervention, then you're going to wait 2 hours before you start removing the air. Regardless of how long you wait, the process is the same. Your syringe always needs to stay with your patient, so it either needs to be taped to their arm or to their bed, but it needs to stay as close to them as possible. When you're ready, you're going to go in and you're going to insert your syringe, and you're going to pull back 2 mils, making sure to control the plunger so you don't pull back more than 2 mils. Once you've pulled back the 2, you're going to pull it off. You're going to reassess the arm, make sure that there's no bleeding, and then you're going to come back in 15 minutes, recheck vitals, reassess the arm, and then if there's no issues, you're going to pull back another 2 mils of air. You're going to continue this process until all of your air is removed. Again, you'll have gotten that information in report so you know how much air to remove. Every time you remove air, you want to be mindful to look at your insertion site and make sure that there's no issues with bleeding or hematoma formation. If at any point you start to notice bleeding, you're going to reinsert those last 2 mils of air, and you're going to wait and follow up with your provider, and then after the specified time, you will begin removing air again. Once you have removed all of the air from your patient's TR band, once all of the air has been completely removed from your TR band, you're going to remove the band. You want to inspect the site. You're going to put a sterile gauze and dressing, gauze and tape over your patient's wrist. And again, you're going to instruct them to leave it higher than the level of their heart. And you're going to continue to monitor. If your patient does begin to bleed after the device is removed, you're going to hold manual pressure at the site for a minimum of 20 minutes until hemostasis is achieved, and then call the physician immediately. We do want to ensure that the patient does not bend their arm or their wrist for the next 24 hours. We will want to send them home with an arm and wrist immobilizer to prevent that movement. A few other special instructions for our patients. They don't need to submerge the affected limb for approximately 1 week. They can't lift anything heavier than 10 pounds. No activities that require bending of the affected arm, such as golfing or bowling, for 1 week. If they do notice any frank bleeding occur or excessive swelling, have the patient hold continuous pressure at the puncture site and call 911, and they can remove the dressing the next day. We do have another closure device called VASC band. It works the same exact way as our TR band. The two differences are it will come with a Velcro piece that allows the syringe to be held onto the same spot as our band is. The other major difference is the VASC band comes with a syringe that you can actually lock, and it only allows you to pull 2 mils of air back at all times. So when I go to remove, I twist this on, and you'll see that it springs back. It's locked in place, so I can only pull back the 2 mils. I remove the syringe, and I've only pulled back 2 mils of air.